Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining this evening's meeting. This is a State of Lock Nation Town Hall meeting where we come together and get updated on the movement that we currently are on, where our mission is we are here to address solutions, implement action plans towards issues globally known, and breaking a 400-year cycle. The purpose of this recording is so that we can have the first two parts covered of information, and all the meetings after will just be building historical movements going forward. Before we begin, we are going to say a prayer for the community. So if we can have a moment for that. Thank you, Heavenly Father of all things, for making us in your image to be able to create a world of love and abundance in our divine right. Thank you for consistent wisdom, clarity, and discernment as we seek your kingdom and righteousness. We apologize for any wrong committed. We as the new generation intend to walk, live, and honor your will. Give us with pure hearts the right words to communicate with each other so we may walk in an harmonious accord. No weapon formed shall prosper, we pray, to ease the hearts of those broken and with ill intent. Fill them with a change of heart now and forever. I visualize, speak into existence, and with intentions command protection over all of those authentically doing your will. As many are called and the chosen are present. So says, so shall it be done. Your daughter Queen. Amen. All praises. Ashe. The rules of State of Lock Nation Town Hall meetings is as follows. This is a divine meeting, thus God is the lead. As messengers of this divine meeting, we are to be an example in the verbal, physical, and mental. Please respect the meeting, yourself, and each other. No arguing. Take a moment to translate the next person's version of English. Please activate your logical thinking and forward thinking. We will hold ourselves accountable for our words and actions. If it hurt, there is growth. Respect each other's boundaries and be open to change, which may challenge your norm for the better. We like to take some time to acknowledge our invitees from the first meeting. Reverend Dr. Miller, Vanessa Young, Mr. John Barrett, President Rashad, Ryan, Chief Golden Hawk, Mr. Ray, Nina Valerie, Melanie Renee, Mr. L, Ron Notes, Mario Robinson, and all others who were in attendance. We thank you for being present when we started our first meeting. Who is State of Lock Nation Global Public Benefit Corp and all its affiliates? We are so proud to announce that we have made it to the Urban Dictionary, which is a milestone in the progressive movement. State of Lock Nation is a community of 1.4 trillion members globally with a mission to empower, inspire, and raise awareness that locks are a sacred artifact of faith. They are dedicated to fostering a sense of unity and spiritual connections within the lock community and beyond. The main goal is to celebrate the profound significance of locks and continue to share the knowledge with the world. We honor Her Highness Empress Queen Christina.clement for providing useful lessons of culture. Again, our mission, we are here to address solutions, implement action plans toward issues globally known, and breaking a 400-year cycle. Our agenda, At the end of tonight's meeting, we will have a better understanding of the following: the rebranding of the word reparation and restitution and why this is really important. Update on the DC Court of Appeals case number 245263. The progress of Locke Community Association lobbyist efforts. HR 40 is the Noah's Ark, CBO. UCC 1 financial statement as collateral. IRS and filing taxes, and then we will end and close out with the question and answer. Again, if you remember, our mission is we are here to address solutions, implement action plans towards issues globally known, and breaking a 400-year cycle. So the first part of our agenda, the rebranding of the word reparation to restitution for the illegal kidnapping during the trans-slave trade genocide. So in order to provide a solution, we must tackle the root cause. In the research, we found that the root cause to not being able to obtain restitution was several reasons, but one primarily with the 14th Amendment, Section 4, which is focused on public debt clause, basically says, neither the United States nor any state shall assume or pay any debt or obligation incurred in aid of insurrection or rebellion against the United States, or any claim for the loss or emancipation of any slave, but all such debts, obligation, and claims shall be held illegal and void. So if the amendment is stating that they're not going to pay any debts related to slave-related or emancipation losses, then clearly no case for reparations will be won. So we have to rename it to restitution for the illegal kidnapping during transatlantic slave trade, and we could even include genocide. To solve a problem, it must be pulled from the root, and in this case, the root is the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and the U.S. Code. This focus will solve the national and international issues. So hopefully, and another reason why reparations wasn't won in court, in my opinion, is that many cases that were brought basically said that you had to prove that the government was responsible for slavery. It can't be a case that's brought based off of wrongs that were done in a particular state and then expecting the government to pay for it. You had to prove that the government was responsible for restitution. So in the court case that we mentioned, the DC Court of Appeals 245263, we basically brought those grievances to light, and we know slavery was primarily for unfair wages of picking cotton, and the American dollar is made out of 75% cotton, which is more than half. And then the second reason that we all know of Willie Lynch, but he also was the son to Charles Lynch. Charles Lynch and Willie Lynch were both colonels of the United States government, and they both was branded for lynching efforts, and Willie Lynch was branded for breaking the minds of the slaves, which we now see the effects even to this very current day. So that's a huge part of some of the systematic damages that we see within our community. If you haven't read the Willie Lynch letter, I recommend that you do so to get caught up. And I have also included the letter as evidence in the original court case of District of Columbia, case 124 CV 00479 RC. The first parts of the case, it brings in, or it starts out with the Willie Lynch letter as evidence of the things that we are struggling with as a community, including mental health. Okay, so that brings us into the next part of the agenda. The DC Court of Appeals, case 245263, which it requires at this point all of you guys support in letting the public know. The courts are supposed to let the press know anytime there's a court case of this magnitude, but as we know, because of the level and what the grievance is in this court case, is no surprise that they're trying to keep it very silent. But it's up to us to share our own stories and our own fights. So all hands on deck and spreading the word on this court case. Because the more that we put the pressure on them, the more that they will start doing what they're supposed to do. Okay? So in that court case, the defendants that I have brought into the court case was Attorney General Garland, which has now, since the new administration, have changed over to, I believe her name is Pamela Bondi, because she's the new Attorney General now. Chief Justice John Roberts, Secretary General of United Nations, and the International Court Justice. Now, the International Court Justice is another jurisdiction. However, I wanted them on record so that when now we take the case international, it's just all linked together. But Volume 2, Reveal the Kingdom of Locks, Nazareth Vow Continues. Volume 2 is that court case on the international level. So if you want to read it and become familiar with it, you can, so that you get a heads up. It also has inserts of the judge's manual, basically, that was written by the International Court Justice representatives. So it makes that book a very prestigious book off the rip because of that insert on top of the court case. Okay. So the questions that I addressed in the court case is: I contest the oath of office, I contest the electoral college, and I contest the restitution for the illegal kidnapping during the transatlantic slave trade, presenting over 3,000 victim statements. Bringing in total, there has been 95 different filings in that court case, where I also established our sovereignty. I also established the laws that we will be following, and I also established several different acts, which includes having every governmental office as the United States of America, and I have backup, right? We fought in all the wars right along with them, so whatever war made them America, it by right made us America as well, because they would have lost had our forefathers not contributed our muscle. So we have every right to every door that America is a part of, because we were the winning factor of these wars. So I brought all those up within those 95 filings or motions. I contest the oath of office because the Bill of Rights and Constitution originally was created to protect the minority against the tyranny of the majority. So they knew that they were about to free the slaves. They were worried about what the slaves would do to them based off of the gruesome history that they had of what they've done to people. So they created these Bill of Rights and Constitutions to protect them. Where we went wrong, we never established our protective laws against them. We've been trying to fit into the protective laws of theirs when we needed to establish our own to protect us from their tyranny. Okay, so I basically contest the oath of office because everyone who takes the oath of office has agreed to help them protect them. And so what happens with many of our brothers and sisters that take this oath thinking that they will learn the laws and they will get these titles to help fight the community, they're blocked by it because they took an oath to protect them against us. So it's kind of contradicted, but you didn't know until you know. So now that you know, now it's time to do something different. I contest the Electoral College because I was able to bring this case without being an attorney, because I was running for president, and running for president, you're entitled to represent and create policies and procedures for the people that you represent. I was representing the unrepresented, which is the majority, which is you guys. So I was able to do that during that time frame. And I also came across the fact that when I first started, I was an independent party, and I realized that the amount of signatures that they require you to have to be on the ballot was designed for you never to be on the ballot. And if you have an electoral college to make sure that the campaign is ran fairly, they have failed horribly. It is so blatant that you could just look at the numbers and tell what the outcome is. So I created a graph, and that's also included in the court case. And if I'm a person, if I'm gonna lose, let me lose on my own accord, but you not gonna let me lose because you cheated. No. Okay? So now the third is, as we all know, the restitution for the illegal kidnapping, transatlantic slave trade. I said, since I'm here presenting all of this, I might as well present it all. And there I submitted them a bill for 500 quadrillion, land return for 1.4 trillion with 50% interest until the payment is complete. I have sent it to their Secretary of State. I have filed a UCC-1 filing on it. I also have included it on my taxes with the IRS. So they are fully aware of the dollar amount. So I imagine it's coming sooner than later, and I'm prepared to file bankruptcy and have their trustee go get the money. However is necessary, okay? And the land, of course. All right. So for many of you who do not have access to Pacers, or you don't want to log on or register for an account, if you go to stateoflocknation.com and click on the case number on the tab section, you will have access to those filings. If you look all over the website, you're going to find everything, honestly. Because everything that I am presenting to you is also on the website, okay? Let's see. Okay, so we discussed this, the evidence. Also, State of Lock Nation has declared independence June 13, 2023. Those documents have been sent out. As I mentioned in the court case, several different things were established, even a de facto de jure, which basically is a step that you need to do to claim your sovereignty. Our articles of incorporation, our Bill of Rights and Constitution, and again, all the acts that I have mentioned. So all of that has been there, including cryptocurrency. If by the time this is all said and done and we have converted over to cryptocurrency, that process has been done, you'll be able to see the coin on the State of Lock Nation website as well. Okay. The court case started back in February of 2024. and the Court of Appeals started in November of 2024. So technically this whole process now, it is March 1st of this recording. So it's been a bona fide whole year that we've been in this process. Okay, and to date, the District Court of Appeals has 10 filings. And as you can see, this is the District Court of Columbia's dashboard, if you will, with all the filings. And you're able to see this on your own as well once you log in. All right, the next topic is the progress of Locke Community Association lobbyist efforts. So we do have a lobbyist company that is representing us in that department. Now, what I wanted to mention to you guys, Congress always submits these bills on the community's behalf on things that they want to address and things like that. There's another step that they're supposed to do, which submits these bills to a department called CBO. CBO evaluates the bill and see how it's going to affect the overall economy and what costs will be associated in doing this thing and where is it going, where the money's coming from, basically. HR 40, which was pushed by Sheila Lee Jackson, who is no longer with us, but she's the ancestor now, has done that step. She submitted it to CBO, and it was allocated some funds over to do the research for the African American Act, which is to put together a commission to study and develop reparation proposals for African Americans. We are saying we've done the work already. The research has been done, the work has been done, the count has been done, the calculations has been done. All you need to do now is take this research and codify it and make it law so that we have protective rights that's in their system. So all states will be in alignment with what our findings are, what our protective rights are, because you can't have a balanced justice if you're only looking at it from one side of the law when there's two people in the room. If their Bill of Rights say all men are created equal, then in that scenario, one man can't tell another man he's right or wrong, right? So if one man walks into the room with his law, the other one must walk in with his law as well and present it to the judge. The judge looks at both laws, and as a neutral party is supposed to render the decision. Right now, both sides is going in front of the judge, and the judge is reviewing one person's law, and that's why the other side is getting the highest amount of years. That's why the other side is getting the short end of the stick. And we have this unbalance where you have so many nonprofit organizations and civil rights organizations fighting for equal justice. You can't fight for equal justice with one law. It has to be your law as well. Like if America go to China, they're going to have to go to the ICJ court, and that judge is going to review China's law and America law and come up with something. Come up with who is the wrong and who is the right. We are here with one law, but yet two nations. We got to fix that. It's us. We got to be accountable for ourselves. So that's what this process is doing, is basically holding ourselves and saying, yeah, we not babies no more. We got our laws. We can self-govern. Here is our laws. Matter of fact, you know some of the laws because we adopted some of your laws. Just let all your 50 states know what's going on, and then we'll be fine. That way, if one of our peoples do something to one of your peoples, you know where we stand with it. You know what the years are for that kind of act, and go and so forth, and going on that way. That's what needs to happen to fix the injustices, basically. Okay. So I show on here the allocation from the CBO, so the cost is done. Most of those bills, if they haven't run through the CBO, it's just going to be sitting there. They're dangling in your face. You have to pay attention so they can stop playing these games, right? Oh, you mad about something. They show, oh, we got a bill, but they didn't take it to the next step and track the money. They got to put some money behind it. And this HR 40 got some money behind it. So this is the vehicle that we're going to use to get our established laws into the U.S. Code. Into the U.S. Code. Okay? That's what we're going to do. And lately, we had, what's her name? Let me scroll down. Ayanna Presley. Representative Ayanna Presley, she has done a bunch of press releases basically saying that she's ready to reintroduce HR 40. I'm pretty sure it's based off of our lobbyist efforts, but whatever the source is live. And we're going to use that vehicle to push our laws and our voices and our protective rights ahead, because the community is excited about these YNs being the new Black Panther. I am concerned because we need to be able to protect these babies. These are your kids. These is our kids. These are our nephews, our nieces, and they need to have protective laws to protect them. They shouldn't even feel like they need to go to war in their hometown. Period. Another strong factor of us establishing ourselves as self-governing is that now we can be considered as government, and any hate organization who is targeting the African American community can now be treated as insurrection. American government was treated as American government has that law and standard, and they looked at the Black Panthers in the past as being an insurrection against the U.S. government, but they didn't do anything with KKK. With this establishing us as a government, then now the KKK can be handled according. If it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander. Okay, so that's a powerful thing there. Again, why we need to get this moved through the court system. So that's another protective vehicle right there. Okay. Also on the agenda sheet, as you can see, there is a link that Senator Presley office has sent me. You guys can click on that link and add your name or your organization to it to let them know that your eyes is there, your support is there, and we want this shit moved. All right. So now it takes me to the money part, which everybody always want to know about the money part. All right, listen, I really don't have an attachment to the money part because that's not the black dollar. I understand you need it as a form of exchange. I get it, but it is still not the black dollar. My energy is on getting the black dollar, which I have titled LND, also the black USD, to be printed on the dollar paper, since we put the work in it, to have it printed, but to have our historical founders and forefathers printed on the money, and that would be the black dollar. Okay, whether they want to give us their USD or we use it as collateral, I'm also fine with that too, in order to cover the expenses to print real black dollar. That's where my attention is. So this UCC1 financial statement is certified. It is filed. It has been sent to who it needed to be sent to. This has detailed the 500 quadrillion as debt owed. This has detailed the land for 1.5 trillion people with 50% interest listed in it, along with all the established laws on this certified document. And I certified it in the state of Georgia because that's where the company is at. Okay. And I mentioned already, I have filed this, all my taxes with the IRS. It's showing that they received the document. They still back and forth with it, but it's in their hands. They got it. And the land files that I sent them a list of land that belongs to my family. The Clement family, the McAllister family, the Scott family, the Hines family. I sent it in so as to be the start of the transfer. And then as we go, we will start, as we start developing the departments and the task force and the recruitment, then we can start retrieving the lands of all the other families of your last names. And I show the proof that I have sent it to the Secretary General. Do you have any questions for me? I have questions for you. To be able to cover all 50 states, out of all the organizations that's on this Zoom call and in the email chats and on the social media platforms, do we have offices to operate out of to make those our government offices in each state? Do we have the team to lead the mental health initiatives? What tech initiatives can the students consistently do to support this movement? What marketing efforts do we need to do to spread the word, like on a Super Bowl level? Right? We need this to spread because this is the new way of life. How can these activities assist with your movement? How can these laws help with your movement? How can we, State of Lock Nation, Lock Community Association, Dynasty Healing, NJS, and christina.clement LLC, how can we help you guys with your initiative? And what can we commit to? The volunteers who agreed to volunteer, how long and what services are you willing to commit to? Let me know these things so that we can start putting another action plan together. Next week Tuesday, we will have the action plan in terms of letters, templates that you can send to your Congress people. I know the 28th we was supposed, they had the blackout, and there's several other blackouts that are scheduled as well. We have the templates for what you need to post on your social media platforms. We have the templates on the letters that to send to Congress and to send to various other players in this whole initiative, so that we could just let people know that, yeah, we got a team that's paying attention. We got a community that's paying attention, and that this is what we want. Okay, I can do it by myself, cool, but it makes a movement for everybody. Because I'm pretty sure when now everything is transferred to the trust account for the community, everybody's lined up. So to be lined up, you need to be lined up, okay? And if you know what I mean. So I hope this brought clarity to what's happening, so that it's a little bit more easy to understand what's happening here, and whatever your talents may be, it's easier to visualize what role you can play in all of this, because it's going to require a community. right? One person catches the fish, one person cleans the fish, one person cooks the fish, and the community eats the fish. That's how it needs to go. Everybody has a lane to play. Everybody has a part to play. Everybody's part is just as important as the next. Because when you go to work, you see it's so many. You got the security, you got the admin, you got the janitor, you got the CEO, you got the supervisor, you got the manager, you got the building, you got the cops who handle the street lights. Everyone plays a role. You got the coffee vendor who you buy your breakfast from. Everything plays a part for the overall picture. It's no different for the Black community. Okay, so again, I hope that brought clarity, and we will send the links out either Sunday or Monday so that you have it ahead of time for Tuesday. I do start sharp, 6 p.m. sharp, with a 5-minute grace period. If you are late, you just missed it. We have to respect all people on the call, okay? All people on the call. We all have different walks of life, and we all got things to do. So respectfully, I ask you to respectfully show up in time so that you can obtain all the information, so that you're confident in whatever lane that you come to play. And with that, I close out this meeting. I thank you for your time once again, and let's get it done. Breaking a 400-year cycle. And our mission, again, we are here to address solutions, implement actions, plans towards issues globally known, and breaking a 400-year cycle. It's time.